Hey everyone, this is a true story about the first thing I remember before I came to Earth, and a very strange way of coming into my body, so this gift is unique and I really want to share it with you. Enjoy. The first thing I woke up to was that I was in total darkness, the darkest I've ever seen in my life, pitch black and there is no sounds, but I had no body, no memory, and no, I wasn't breathing either. What was the place like for me there? It's like Nikola Tesla quotes, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration." I was heading in a direction, I couldn't figure out where I was being taken. It was like sitting in space and having to be patient and just enjoy the ride. The whole time I was there it only went one way and straight ahead, but I felt safe and curious. I looked around me and below me, but there was only pitch black to see. How long I was there, I don't know. Woke up in pitch black darkness with no memory of being taken to a destination, and then I decided that I wanted to see where I was going to in this total darkness, if anything would appear, and then out of the blue I fell asleep. I wake up, but only with what I could remember, when I was in the darkness, and now I'm not in the darkness, but the best description I can give you is like looking at the sun, but with your eyes closed, and now I can also hear, but it sounded strange, like people mumbling and it was faint. But this time I was only there for a short time, and while I was there, it felt lovely and warm, and out of the blue I fell asleep. I wake up, to where I am in a baby body and was in the water, and my hearing is completely gone. The only thing I could do this time was to feel feelings and move my body in a very strange way. Words cannot describe it, but there was a big difference in my vision. I could see clearly now. That was the only things I could do. Yes, you heard right. Because here I am not breathing. I don't know how that is possible, but that's how it is. Some things I can do, meanwhile there are other things I can't do, and every time I wake up, I can remember from the last times I woke up, and no, I didn't have any dreams either, so when it goes black for me, it's like, when will I wake up again, and how long was I gone, and here I am and don't know why I am here, what a baby body is, what a school swimming pool is or everything. But right now, here I am inside a large school swimming pool, and I wasn't alone, there were other people present, but not many. While I was in the water, a feeling of joy appears inside me, where I splash afterwards. Then there's something that gets my attention, where I look up towards a window, where I see the sun, and out of the blue I fell asleep. I wake up, to where I get to change my diaper, out in the bathroom. Here I can feel, see and move in a strange way. There is someone changing my diaper, but I don't know who it is, or where I am. For a short moment out of the blue I drifted off to sleep, but came back again, still only feeling, seeing and moving in a strange way, but I sat up, the same place where I got to change my diaper, and I was alone this time. But there was something strange about the place where I was sitting. What is this? There was water all around me. But why is the water up here with me, where I got to change my diaper? Meanwhile I splashed the water around me and felt joy. I had fun playing in this water, but I noticed the water didn't fall to the floor. No matter how much I splashed in the water, it could never be allowed to land on the floor, because it hit an invisible wall, and again out of the blue I fell asleep. I wake up again in this total pitch black darkness with no sounds, but this time I'm not getting anywhere, floating in nothing and locked on a point, and I'm not in the baby body. But then out in the darkness different sizes of golden lights appear in front of me, more than 7. I got curious and tried to touch one of the lights. A form of some kind of invisible energy on my right side comes out. When I think about how I'm going to be able to touch the light, the energy on my right side forms an invisible arc towards the light, and comes closer and closer, but then another invisible energy appears, which is not mine. It comes up below me and lifts me up, and turning me a little to the right and stopping, locked onto a new point, like a military tank about to shoot something down. I'm still with the lights, and in this dark place, but instead of shooting something down, suddenly I was spun around very fast and shot down, crashed down mega lightning fast speed. The only thing I managed to see as I was falling, is a house at night. As I fall through the house, and land in a body, I wake up in a shock, heavy breathing. Where am I? And I look at the body that I landed in. What am I? What is this? And what is all these new things I can do? Like breathing? Yes, that's correct, it's only here that I feel for the first time that I'm breathing. It took me some time to calm down. Meanwhile I looked around and saw my mother, father and little sister. How do I know who they are? I'm seeing them for the first time and already know who they are. Why do I wake up knowing who they are? And why can I remember more things first now, and not the other times when I woke up? And now I have full control over my body. The other times I woke up to were not like this at all. It was a different kind of way to be in the baby body, and to what I can do now in this body that I couldn't do in the baby body. This is so very different. And that strange feeling of moving my body in a very strange way, when I woke up the other times before, is not here anymore. My hearing is back and clear. No more strange sounds, and all the other new things I could do now. While I looked shocked, what am I now? Little by little took curiously over, at what I landed in, and why can I move like this? I couldn't do that the other times I woke up. Why can I breathe now, when I couldn't the other times when I woke up? Why does it feel so very different, so strange to be here? Why can I do all these things now and why only now can I stay here, where I don't drift off to sleep? What's going on here? It feels strange to see what I am. When I had completely calmed down, I choose to get up, open the door, come into the hallway, come to the bathroom, seen something strange. I looked into this strange thing. Is that me? I was stunned. What on earth am I? And began to explore my body with the mirror, until I've seen enough and move on. I get to the door, open it, come out into the kitchen, move on and came out to the laundry room until I reach the main door, which is locked. I unlocked it and look outside, see my breath coming out to the cold air. I chose to go all the way outside in the driveway. I look up and see a starry clear sky, and say inside my head, why am I here? While I look up, nothing happens. So I go inside again, look around the kitchen and the living room, where I discover a strange device in the living room. What is this and how do I get it to work? It was an old Sony TV, like a box. I got it started, and try to find a channel that captures my interest, where I finally land on Looney Tunes. Time passed and it was morning. My parents had gotten up and my grandmother too. Again, seeing my grandmother for the first time and knowing who she is. How could I know that? I don't know, but they are making breakfast. While I was still watching TV, it was only a short time before breakfast was ready. I was called to the table, where everyone had gathered, even my little sister is there. But while I was at the table, I got a gut feeling that says you shouldn't say what you have experienced, so I didn't, and this is my first time I had breakfast. Yes, my first time that I am at breakfast, because all the other times I wake up, I am not allowed to be awake for so long. It always comes out of the blue and I fall asleep. But it still hasn't happened, and as I said, it feels so much different the other times I wake up. Because since that day, I could stay here on Earth. Let's get back to my breakfast. There was a lot of food on the table. I took French bread and spread butter on it and put some ham on it, and tried to taste the food. I was cautious when I took my first bite, but it tasted good, and then I continued to eat and swallow my food. But when I poured the milk into my glass and tasted the milk, I didn't like it, and told my parents that I didn't want to drink it. They looked at each other in disbelief, like, why don't you like it now? But I couldn't tell them that it was my first time tasting milk, and I couldn't tell them either about the experience I had, so I didn't say anything to them. And the next thing they say is that I should drink it, but I still refuse. Eventually they got angry, when I still refused to drink my milk. I then chose to drink it for my parents, even though it tasted disgusting. Days passed until I liked it, and days passed into months and years, where I was still thinking about when I should tell what I had experienced before I came to Earth, and who should I tell it to. The end. So that was my true story about what the first thing I can remember. I'm glad you listened to it all the way through. Did you find it interesting or mind-blowing, about the experience I had, and that I can still remember all that, after so many years? Now we're talking about years. I was either 2, 3 or 4 years old when I crashed through the house and landed in my body. And how do I know that? Because my little baby sister was there. But my little brother wasn't born yet. So yeah, I had something of a unique experience, a gift I was supposed to share with you one day, and that day has come. And I only started sharing it with others when I started at the boarding school, but not many. Okay, that was the last thing I wanted to say. Until next video, take care and goodbye.